Hello, and welcome to Today English Podcast. This is the place where you can improve your English and also learn something valuable for your everyday life. I'm really happy that you're here with me today. Our main goal is simple: help you get better at speaking and listening to English. Share ideas and knowledge that can make your real life easier and better. So, sit back, relax, maybe grab a cup of tea or coffee, and let's begin. Today's topic. We're going to talk about something that affects every single person on this planet, no matter where you live, what job you have, or how old you are. Our topic is understanding laws and compliance. I know these words might sound formal or maybe a bit difficult, but don't worry. I will explain them in very simple, clear language. By the end of this lesson, you will know what laws are, what compliance means, why they're important for you, your family, and your community. What are laws? Think of laws as the rules of life's big game. In any game, there are rules to keep things fair, safe, and organized. Without rules, people might argue, cheat, or even get hurt. Now imagine life without laws. It would be far worse than a messy game. There would be chaos, danger, and confusion. Laws are created by governments or other authorities to guide people on what they can do and what they cannot do. Laws are not suggestions. They are official rules. If someone breaks a law, there are consequences like paying a fine, getting a penalty, or even going to jail. In other words, laws are like the instructions for living in a country so that everyone can live together peacefully and fairly. What is compliance? Compliance is simply following the rules. It's not just about avoiding punishment. It's about helping everything run smoothly. Think about a traffic light. If the light is red, you stop, even if the road is empty. You do this not only because it's the law, but because it keeps people safe. When we follow laws, we protect ourselves and others. Compliance makes sure everyone is playing by the same rules so that life works well for all of us. Why laws and compliance matter? Every single day, laws and rules shape what we do, even when we don't notice it. From the moment you wake up and lock your front door to the moment you go to bed, laws are quietly protecting you. Some examples from daily life: paying for items at the store, wearing a seat belt in a car, respecting your neighbor's property, driving within the speed limit. Imagine driving to work. The speed limits, road signs, and traffic lights are all part of the law. If everyone follows them, the roads are safe. But if people ignore them, accidents happen. The bigger picture: laws exist to keep people safe, make life fair, help communities work together. When we all follow the rules, society runs smoothly and everyone benefits. That's why understanding laws and following them is so important for our daily lives. So, as we talk about this topic today, start noticing how many parts of your daily routine are touched by laws and rules. You might be surprised at how often they guide your actions without you even thinking about it. Imagine a world without laws. Think for a moment about living in a place where there are no laws at all. People could take whatever they wanted from you. Drivers could race through the streets any way they liked. Someone could hurt others, and nothing would happen to stop them. It would be a dangerous, unfair, and chaotic world. You wouldn't feel safe walking outside, and you couldn't trust anyone. Why laws exist? Laws are there to give us a clear idea of what is acceptable and what is not. They protect our rights, freedom, safety, and fairness. Protect our property, homes, belongings, and businesses. Protect our safety, keeping danger and harm away. Help solve problems when people disagree. Whether we realize it or not, laws are working all around us every single day. Laws in everyday life. 1. Traffic laws. Think about driving. When you see a red traffic light, you stop. You follow this rule because it's the law. It keeps you and others safe. If drivers ignored red lights, accidents would happen everywhere. 2. Paying for items in stores. When you buy something, the law says you must pay for it before taking it home. If you just take it without paying, that's called stealing, and it's illegal. This protects store owners and ensures everyone gives something in return for what they get. 3. Protecting homes. You can't simply walk into someone's house without permission. That's called trespassing, and it's against the law. This rule helps people feel safe in their own homes. 4. Keeping the peace. Many places have laws about noise levels at night. They're there so everyone can rest without disturbance. Imagine trying to sleep while your neighbor plays loud music at 2 a.m. These rules prevent that kind of problem. The big ideas behind laws. Fairness. Laws apply to everyone, no matter who they are. Traffic laws don't only apply to some people, they apply equally to all. If you drive too fast, you can get a ticket whether you're rich or poor, young or old. Fairness builds trust because people see that rules are applied the same way to everyone. Order. Without order, life would be messy and unsafe. Imagine a busy city with no traffic signs, no pedestrian crossings, no speed limits. Cars would go in every direction. Accidents would happen. Pedestrians would be in danger. Laws create order by telling us what to do and when to do it. This doesn't make life boring. It makes life organized so everyone can live together peacefully. Laws are different around the world. It's important to remember that laws are not the same everywhere. One country may have a speed limit of 100 kilometers per hour. Another may allow 120 kilometers per hour. Even regions within the same country can have different rules. That's why when you travel to a new place, it's important to learn their laws so you can follow them and avoid trouble. The purpose of laws. Some people think, why do we need so many rules? They just make life harder. But in reality, most laws are there to protect you, protect others, help everyone live together peacefully. They guide us in knowing what's right and wrong, and they create a common understanding so life is easier for everyone. If you think about it, laws are like invisible helpers. They're not just there to punish. They're there to keep you safe, make things fair, and help society run smoothly. Laws, more than just words on paper. Laws are not just pieces of paper written by the government. They are the framework that holds a community and even an entire country together. Think of them as the invisible guide that shapes how we live, work, travel, and interact with other people. Even when you don't see them, laws are quietly working in the background. They keep you safe, make life fair, keep society organized. What is compliance? Now that we know what laws are, let's talk about something closely connected to them: compliance. The word might sound formal or complicated, but the idea is very simple. Compliance means following the rules. When you comply with a rule, you're taking an action that matches what the law or regulation asks you to do. Laws versus compliance. The difference. A law is the rule itself. Compliance is you actually doing what the rule says. For example, the law: you must wear a seatbelt in the car. Compliance: you put on your seatbelt every single time you drive. You can know the law and still choose to ignore it. If you do that, you are not being compliant. Compliance is turning knowledge of the law into real behavior. Simple examples of compliance. 1. Wearing a seatbelt. The law says you must wear it for safety. Compliance means you actually buckle up every time, not just when you think police might be watching. 2. Paying taxes. In many countries, the law requires people to pay a part of their income to the government. Compliance means filling out the tax forms, paying the correct amount, paying on time. If someone delays or hides their income, they are breaking the law and they're not compliant. 3. Workplace safety. Many jobs have safety rules to protect workers. For example, wearing helmets on a construction site, using protective gloves in a lab, following fire exit plans in emergencies. Compliance means doing these things every day, even when no one is watching, to keep yourself and others safe. Why compliance matters. Compliance is not only about avoiding punishment. It's about making sure everything runs smoothly. On the road, if half the drivers in your city ignored traffic rules, the roads would be dangerous and unpredictable. In a factory, if workers ignored safety rules, accidents would happen more often, production would slow down, and people could get hurt. Compliance is like the oil in a machine. Without it, things don't work well. Compliance in organizations. In businesses and organizations, compliance is especially important because it builds trust. When a company follows laws about safety, fair pay, environmental care, customers feel safe buying from them, employees feel safe working there, and the company avoids legal problems. But if a company ignores the rules, it can lose money, lose its reputation, even be shut down completely. Not just big laws. Compliance is not only about major government laws. It can also mean following smaller rules, like school rules, workplace policies, or community guidelines. Any time we respect a rule and act according to it, we are practicing compliance. Compliance in everyday life. Compliance isn't only about big government laws. It can also mean following smaller rules in your daily routine, like wearing the correct school uniform or following your school's dress code, sorting your trash according to your community's recycling rules, keeping quiet in a library so others can read and study in peace. In all these cases, compliance means doing your part to keep order and respect the system. Sometimes people think compliance is boring or unnecessary, but in reality, it's what keeps life moving without constant problems. It's the reason you can trust that the food in a restaurant is safe to eat. It's the reason you can trust that a building is strong and safe to live or work in. It's the reason you can walk on the street without worrying that every driver will ignore traffic lights. So while laws are the written rules, compliance is the everyday habit of following them. Both are important, but compliance is what brings the laws to life. Without it, even the best laws would be useless. Why laws and compliance matter in daily life. Now that we know what laws are and what compliance means, let's talk about why these two things are so important for our everyday lives. You might not notice them, but laws and compliance are working quietly in the background all the time, making sure life runs smoothly. Without them, our lives would be more dangerous, more unfair, much more stressful. 1. Protection for people and property. Imagine if there were no rules against stealing. Anyone could take your phone, your bag, or even your car, and nothing could stop them. But because there are laws against theft, and because most people comply with these laws, we can live with a sense of security. The same goes for homes. The law says no one can enter your house without your permission. This means you can feel safe while you sleep at night. Compliance is what makes these protections real, because people choose to respect them. 2. Fairness for everyone. Fairness means everyone is treated equally under the same set of rules. For example, traffic laws apply to everyone, rich or poor, young or old. If you run a red light, you can get a ticket just like anyone else. This fairness creates trust in society because people know the rules apply equally to all. 3. Safety in daily life. Many laws exist mainly for safety. Examples include wearing a seat belt in a car, following speed limits, keeping food preparation clean and hygienic, wearing protective gear at work. When people comply with these rules, fewer accidents happen and more lives are saved. 4. Solving problems and conflicts. People don't always agree. Sometimes neighbors argue over property lines, or businesses disagree about a contract. Laws give us a fair way to solve problems without fighting. Judges and courts can look at the law and make a decision that both sides must follow. Compliance ensures that both sides respect the decision, even if they don't like it. This helps keep peace in communities. What happens without compliance? When people don't follow laws or rules, problems begin. On the road, if a driver ignores a red light because they're in a hurry, they could cause a crash and injure themselves or others. At work, if a factory worker doesn't wear a helmet or gloves, they could be badly hurt in an accident. Without compliance, rules lose their power, and safety, fairness, and order disappear. When compliance is ignored, not following laws and rules doesn't just hurt one person, it can affect many others. For example, if a worker ignores safety rules and gets injured, the company may have to stop production, lose money, and even face legal trouble. If many people in a city stop paying for public transport, the transport system will lose money and may stop running altogether. If companies ignore environmental laws, pollution can increase, making the air and water unsafe for everyone. Breaking the rules is not just a personal choice. It can harm other people, the community, and even the environment. You can think of laws and compliance as an invisible shield. They are always around you, protecting you from
danger,
unfair treatment, chaos. Without them, life would feel unsafe and unpredictable. With them, we can live in an organized society where people respect each other's rights and work together. So the next time you stop at a red light, pay for something in a shop, follow a safety rule at work, remember, you're not just avoiding trouble. You're helping keep the whole system running. Your compliance may seem small, but it's an important piece of the puzzle that makes life better for everyone. Types of laws. Now that we understand why laws are important, let's look at the different types. Not all laws are the same. They cover different areas of life, and each has its own purpose. Today, we'll focus on 4 main types: criminal laws, civil laws, family laws, workplace laws. I'll give simple examples so each one is easy to understand. 1. Criminal laws. Criminal laws deal with serious actions that harm people, property, or society. When someone breaks a criminal law, it's called a crime. The goal of criminal laws is to protect people, keep order in society, make sure harmful actions have consequences. Examples of crimes: stealing, damaging someone's property, hurting another person, for example, hitting or attacking them. Example in real life: if someone steals a phone from a shop, they have broken a criminal law. The police can arrest them, and a court can punish them with a fine or even send them to prison. Criminal laws are very important because they keep communities safe. 2. Civil laws. Civil laws deal with disagreements between people, companies, or organizations. They are not about punishing crimes, but about solving problems fairly. Examples: you sign a contract for someone to paint your house, but they don't do the job. You can take them to court under civil law to get your money back or have the work done. Two neighbors argue about where a fence should be placed. Civil laws help settle the disagreement peacefully, without violence. Civil laws make sure problems are solved in a fair and organized way. 3. Family laws. Family laws deal with matters related to families and personal relationships. They cover rules about marriage, divorce, adoption, child care, and custody. Examples: deciding how property should be divided when a couple divorces, deciding who will take care of the children and how often the other parent can visit. Family laws aim to protect the rights and well-being of every family member, especially children. 3. Family laws. Family laws also protect children from harm. If a child is being abused or neglected, family law can step in to keep the child safe. These laws ensure that children grow up in a safe and healthy environment and that families are supported during difficult times. 4. Workplace laws. Workplace laws protect both workers and employers. They make sure workplaces are safe, fair, and respectful. For example, in many countries, workers must be paid at least a minimum wage for the hours they work. Construction workers must wear helmets, and factory workers must use protective equipment to avoid injury. These laws not only protect workers from being treated unfairly or put in dangerous situations, but they also help companies by providing clear rules everyone understands. How these laws work together. Even though these 4 types of laws focus on different areas of life, they share the same goal: keeping people safe, treating everyone fairly, making society work smoothly. Here's how each type helps. Criminal laws protect you from harm. Civil laws solve disagreements peacefully. Family laws protect relationships and children. Workplace laws keep your job safe and fair. Sometimes laws can overlap. For example, if someone damages your car on purpose, it's a criminal case. But if you also want them to pay for repairs, it becomes a civil case too. This shows how laws can work together to make sure justice is done. Knowing the different types of laws helps you understand your rights and responsibilities. Know where to turn when you have a problem. For example, crime? Go to the police. Contract problem? Go to civil court. Family matter? Go to family court. Workplace issue? Contact labor authorities or your company's HR department. You can think of laws as different tools in a toolbox, each designed to fix a different kind of problem. The more you understand these tools, the better you can protect yourself and live confidently in society. Compliance in different situations. We already know that compliance means following rules, but it's important to see how this works in real life. Compliance isn't only about government laws. It's also about everyday rules we follow in different places. Whether you're at work, at school, in your community, or even online, compliance helps keep things safe, fair, and organized. Compliance at work. Every workplace has rules, especially about safety. For example, in construction, workers must wear helmets, safety boots, and sometimes gloves or goggles. These rules are not suggestions, they protect workers from serious injuries. Compliance at work also means following company policies such as being on time, respecting your colleagues, completing your tasks honestly. Following these rules helps create a safe, respectful, and productive environment for everyone. Compliance in different situations. Compliance means following rules, not just big government laws, but also everyday guidelines that help keep life safe, fair, and organized. Let's look at how compliance works in different areas of life. 1. Compliance at work. Every workplace has rules, especially about safety. For example, Construction workers must wear helmets, safety boots, and sometimes gloves or goggles. Office workers may need to follow data security rules, like keeping sensitive files locked. These rules are not suggestions. They protect workers from injury and companies from breaking the law. If someone ignores these rules, it can cause accidents, create conflicts, and even lead to legal trouble. By following safety rules and company policies, workers protect themselves, their teammates, and their organization. 2. Compliance at school. Schools have their own set of rules to create a positive learning environment. These may include arriving on time, respecting teachers and classmates, keeping noise levels down, not cheating on exams. When everyone follows the rules, learning becomes easier and more effective. If no one listened to the teacher, the classroom would be noisy, confusing, and unproductive. Compliance at school also teaches important life skills: discipline, respect, and teamwork, qualities that will help students succeed in the future. 3. Compliance in the community. Communities often have rules to keep public spaces clean, safe, and pleasant. For example, no littering in parks or streets, keeping dogs on a leash, separating paper, glass, and plastic for recycling. If people ignored these rules, public spaces would quickly become dirty, unsafe, and unpleasant. By following them, we show respect for our neighbors and make shared spaces better for everyone. 4. Compliance online. The internet also has rules, often called terms and conditions or community guidelines. These may include not posting harmful or offensive content, protecting your password and personal details, avoiding scams or illegal downloads, respecting other people's privacy. Breaking online rules can lead to serious consequences: losing your account, getting fined, or even breaking the law. Compliance online helps keep the internet safe, fair, and enjoyable for all users, just like rules in the real world. Why compliance matters everywhere. The main point is that compliance is not only about avoiding punishment, it's about making life better and more organized. At work, it keeps people safe and businesses running smoothly. At school, it creates a good place to learn. In the community, it protects shared spaces and the environment. Online, it keeps communication respectful and secure. When you follow the rules, others know they can trust you. And when everyone follows the rules, society works like a well-practiced team, everyone playing by the same rules for the benefit of all. How to stay compliant. Staying compliant isn't about fear. It's about understanding what's expected of you and making choices that keep life safe, fair, and respectful. Step 1. Know the rules. Be aware of national laws in your country. Learn local community rules. Understand the regulations in your school, workplace, or online platforms you use. Examples. If you work in a restaurant, follow health and hygiene rules. If you drive, follow traffic laws. If you use social media, follow community guidelines. How to stay compliant. Staying compliant isn't about fear. It's about understanding what's expected of you and making choices that keep life safe, fair, and respectful for everyone. Step 1. Know the rules. Without knowing the rules, it's easy to break them without even realizing it. Awareness is the foundation of compliance. Learn the laws of your country. Understand local rules in your community. Review policies in your school, workplace, or online platforms. Step 2. Ask questions when unsure. Many mistakes happen simply because people are too shy or afraid to ask for clarification. Examples. If your manager assigns you a task but you're unsure of the correct procedure, ask instead of guessing. If you don't understand a school policy, ask your teacher before acting. Compliance is not about guessing. It's about confirming you understand before you act. Step 3. Rely on official sources. Not everything you hear from friends, social media, or online forums is accurate. Trusted sources include government websites for laws, taxes, traffic rules, employee handbooks or HR departments for workplace policies, certified professionals for legal or financial matters. Using official sources helps you avoid mistakes caused by misinformation. Step 4. Build good habits. Good habits make compliance automatic. Examples: buckling your seatbelt without thinking, double-checking information before sharing it online, cleaning up after yourself in public spaces. When respect, honesty, and safety become part of your daily routine, you follow rules naturally, without extra effort. Step 5. Take responsibility. Compliance is not just about rules, it's about responsibility. When you understand the rules, ask when unsure, use trusted information, and live by respectful habits, you protect yourself from legal trouble, contribute to a safer, fairer, more organized society. When compliance becomes part of who you are, it stops feeling like a chore. It becomes a natural way of living, and it builds trust, respect, and reliability in every part of your life. Common challenges people face. Even though following rules is important, many people still struggle with compliance. These challenges can make it hard to always do the right thing, and sometimes lead to poor decisions. Understanding these challenges can help you prepare, avoid problems, and make better choices. Common challenges in staying compliant. Even with the best intentions, many people face difficulties in following rules and laws. Understanding these challenges can help you avoid problems and make better decisions. 1. Not knowing the rules. One of the biggest challenges is simple: lack of knowledge. People sometimes break rules without realizing it, simply because they never learned them. Examples: a person who moves to a new country may not know the local traffic laws and could accidentally cross the street in an unsafe place or park in a no parking zone. A new employee may not be aware of workplace safety rules and could make mistakes that lead to accidents. Solution: always take time to learn and ask about the rules before acting. Guessing can lead to trouble, but asking questions can prevent it. 2. Cultural differences and misunderstandings. Different cultures have different customs, and what's polite or normal in one place may be against the rules in another. Examples: in some countries, it's polite to remove your shoes before entering a home. In others, people keep their shoes on. In one country, chewing gum in public may be fine. In another, it could be illegal and punishable by a fine. Solution: when traveling, moving, or working in a new place, learn the local customs and laws. Respecting them will help you avoid misunderstandings and conflicts. 3. Thinking small rules don't matter. Some people believe minor rules are unimportant or a waste of time. Examples: throwing one piece of trash on the street because it's just one. Skipping a helmet while biking because it feels uncomfortable. Small rules often exist to protect safety, fairness, and public order. Ignoring them can lead to bigger problems for you and for others. 4. Peer pressure and bad advice. Friends, family, or coworkers may sometimes encourage you to ignore rules. Examples: don't bother paying that tax, nobody does it. Skip the safety gear, it will save time. Peer pressure can be strong, but breaking rules under influence still carries consequences. Solution: make your own decisions based on what you know is right. When unsure, Get advice from trusted and official sources. 5. Real-life scenarios. A new student didn't know about the no phones in class policy, used her phone during a lesson, and got into trouble. A tourist in a country where chewing gum in public is illegal was fined because he didn't know the rule. A young man parked in a no parking zone just for a minute and came back to find a ticket. A worker ignored a safety rule because coworkers said it was unnecessary, but ended up injured. These stories show how lack of knowledge, cultural misunderstandings, ignoring small rules, or following bad advice can all lead to trouble. Bottom line, no one is perfect, and everyone makes mistakes. But by learning the rules, asking questions, respecting local customs, and resisting peer pressure, you can avoid most compliance problems and protect both yourself and others. The benefits of following laws and being compliant. Earlier, we looked at the common challenges people face when trying to follow rules. Now, let's focus on the positive side, the rewards you gain when you make compliance a part of your daily life. Following laws is not just about avoiding trouble. It's about living safely, building trust, and opening doors to better opportunities. Let's explore the main benefits together. 1. Personal safety. Laws and rules are designed to protect you. Wearing a seatbelt can save your life in an accident. Obeying speed limits and traffic signals greatly reduces the risk of crashes. Workplace safety rules prevent injuries and protect your health. When you follow these rules, you are taking care of your well-being. Personal safety is the foundation of a good life. When you feel safe, you can focus on work, learning, family, and the things that truly matter. 2. Stronger relationships. Following rules shows respect for the people around you. Keeping noise down at night respects your neighbor's need for rest. Following workplace policies builds trust between coworkers. Respecting family-related laws supports harmony at home. When people see you respecting rules and their rights, they're more likely to trust you, cooperate with you, and value your presence in their lives. 3. Trust and respect from others. Trust is a powerful social currency. When people know you follow the rules, they trust you to act fairly and honestly. This trust can lead to more responsibilities at work, friends relying on you for support, community members seeing you as dependable. Respect naturally follows trust. Being known as a responsible and reliable person can open doors to new opportunities in your career, education, and personal life. 4. Avoiding problems and penalties. Breaking rules can lead to fines, legal action, or other serious consequences. Speeding can result in a ticket. Not paying taxes can cause trouble with the government. Such problems take time, money, and peace of mind to resolve. By following the rules, you save yourself unnecessary stress and protect your reputation. In short, following laws and being compliant brings safety, stronger relationships, trust, respect, and peace of mind. It allows you to live confidently, knowing you're doing the right thing for yourself and for those around you. This means you can focus on the positive things in life without worrying about getting into trouble. Avoiding penalties also helps you maintain a clean record, something that can be important for jobs, travel, and other opportunities. In summary, following laws and staying compliant is about far more than simply obeying rules. It's about building a better life for yourself and for those around you.
Personal safety keeps you healthy.
Good relationships make life enjoyable. Trust and respect open new doors. Avoiding penalties protects you from unnecessary stress and problems. These benefits show that compliance is both a smart and positive choice. Every time you follow a rule, you are making a decision that supports your well-being and strengthens your community. Even small actions like wearing a helmet, paying bills on time, or respecting your neighbors can have big, lasting benefits. The more you practice compliance, the more these benefits will grow in your life. Real-life examples. To understand this better, let's look at two short stories, one about the rewards of following rules and one about the consequences of ignoring them. Both are told in simple English, so you can follow along easily and remember the lessons. Anna's story: How Following Rules Brings Good Results. Anna is a young woman who lives in a busy city and works as a delivery driver. Every day, she rides her motorcycle to deliver packages to customers. The city has many traffic rules: stopping at red lights, wearing helmets, and staying within speed limits. Anna knows these rules well because she studied them before getting her driving license. She always wears her helmet and obeys traffic signals. One rainy day, Anna was running late for her deliveries. She felt tempted to ignore a red light to save time, but she remembered the importance of safety. She stopped at the light as usual. Moments later, a car from another street ran its red light and crashed into the intersection. Because Anna had waited, she avoided the accident entirely. Her careful behavior kept her safe, and she continued her deliveries without problems. Her boss, impressed by her responsible driving record, even gave her a small bonus. Anna's story shows that following rules may take a little more time or effort, but it keeps you safe and helps you succeed. Mark's story: How Ignoring Rules Leads to Problems. Mark owns a small food shop. One day, trying to save money, he decided not to clean his kitchen properly. He thought the health and safety laws were too strict and believed inspectors rarely visited. For weeks, he ignored the rules about cleanliness and food safety. Eventually, a health inspector came to check his shop and found serious problems: dirty kitchen surfaces, expired food, and poor storage of ingredients. The inspector gave Mark a warning and told him to fix the issues quickly. But Mark ignored the warning and continued his bad habits. After some time, the health inspector returned and saw that nothing had changed. This time, they closed Mark's shop for safety reasons. Mark lost many customers, had to pay a large fine, and damaged his good reputation in the community. Mark's story teaches us an important lesson: ignoring laws and rules can cause serious problems. Trying to save time or money by breaking rules can lead to losing your income, respect, and opportunities. Both Anna and Mark's stories are simple but powerful. Anna showed responsibility, patience, and respect for rules, and she was rewarded with safety and success. Mark thought rules were not important, and he faced costly consequences. These stories remind us that laws and compliance are not just about avoiding punishment. They are about making smart choices that protect us and help us build good lives. Every time you follow a rule, you are like Anna, making a choice for safety and success. When you ignore rules like Mark, you risk losing many good things. Remember these stories as you go through your day. Think about how your choices can either keep you safe and respected or cause unnecessary problems. Following laws and staying compliant is a way to take control of your life, making it better, step by step. Final tips for staying on the right path. Here are some practical ways to help you stay safe, respectful, and compliant in everyday life. 1. Keep learning your rights and responsibilities. Laws and rules can change, and new ones can appear. Stay informed about the rules that apply to your country, community, workplace, and even online life. If you start a new job, learn your company's policies. If you move to a new place, understand the local laws and customs. The more you know, the better you can protect yourself and avoid mistakes. Learning is a lifelong process. Curiosity keeps you prepared. 2. Respect others. Respect is the heart of compliance. When you follow rules, you show respect for other people's safety, property, and feelings. This builds trust and stronger relationships with family, friends, coworkers, and neighbors. Even if you disagree, listening politely and treating people with kindness helps create a better and more peaceful community. 3. Think before you act. Quick decisions can lead to trouble. Taking a moment to think can save you from accidents, mistakes, or penalties. Before crossing the street, look both ways and wait for the green light. Before sharing something online, ask yourself if it's true, necessary, and kind. Before driving, check your speed and obey signs. Careful thinking leads to safe, respectful, and legal choices. 4. Ask for help when you're unsure. No one knows every rule. If you're unsure about a law or policy, ask a trusted person, a supervisor, or an official source. Getting clear answers early can save you from big problems later. If you don't understand a rule or law, or if you're unsure how to follow it, ask someone you trust. This could be a teacher, manager, family member, or an official authority. Asking questions is a smart way to learn and avoid mistakes. It shows responsibility and care, both for yourself and for others. Remember, it's always better to ask and be sure than to guess and risk breaking a rule. These final tips may be simple, but they are powerful. Keep them in mind and you'll grow more confident in following laws and staying compliant. You'll protect yourself, build stronger relationships, and help create a safer, fairer world. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Today English Podcast. I hope you found it useful, interesting, and encouraging. Learning about laws and compliance isn't just for adults or experts. It's for everyone, including you. Keep practicing your English listening and speaking skills by thinking about these ideas and sharing them with others. Stay safe, respect the rules, and keep moving forward, one smart choice at a time. See you in the next episode.